A, can we get enough Germ-X, and B, how much will that slow down the line of cars? Trying to get 1,000 cars through there is it takes it takes time, and we don't want to slow that process down any more than we have to. It has to work. So that's, if you see our lunch ladies not wearing gloves, it's because we've made that shift over. And like I said, I'm not sure we're going to do that. We're looking into it. The other thing, how long does the governor's order keep schools closed? It keeps them closed until at least May the 4th. That doesn't mean all schools must reopen on May 4th. What it means is they can't open before that. After that, it's kind of a case-by-case, community-by-community decision. And I will tell you, I saw something yesterday. I saw a list of the peak of deaths and the peak of cases projected for each state, and the peak projected for Texas was May the 6th. So the odds are that May 4th date that the governor has put out will probably end up getting extended. But I don't know that. Obviously, that's just me. That's just me trying to read and interpret just like everybody else is doing. That is everything I have from the papers that I kind of made notes on to share with you. I do have one other thing. Had a parent yesterday say, hey, what can you guys do to help? We're getting a lot of communications through a lot of different means and mechanisms, and it's hard to keep up with as parents. What, is there something the school can do to help make that easier for us? And so we're looking at that right now. I had a long discussion with my leadership team last night in our group chat, and I've got campuses looking at that. A couple things. Number one, we're looking at maybe posting calendars for each campus of when the different Zoom meetings and things are scheduled, like a master calendar, so parents can just look at that, make it easier for them, because I know parents are working and things like that. But I would ask you at home too to try and make your own calendar of your kids' stuff just to help yourself out. And then the other thing, one of the concerns was, we've got some teachers using Class Dojo, some teachers using Remind, some teachers using Facebook. So we're going to try to systematize that as much as we can, but there are limitations on how much we can systematize that, because we've got some folks, like if you've got a high school athlete like I do, coaches have been using Remind for several years, and there are reasons for that. Remind is a very good application for communications between educators and kids, because it allows the supervisor to kind of eavesdrop and make sure that all communications are professional and appropriate. So we really, there are reasons sometimes that Remind is the best application versus like Class Dojo. So in elementary, I know a lot of elementary teachers use Class Dojo. My wife uses it, and I didn't know what it was until I saw her one day. I was looking over her shoulder at what she was doing, and it's a great application for elementary teachers, because you can share student work with parents. You can have parents communicate with you and contact you. It's a very effective tool. It's almost like a little private Facebook just for your group of kids and their parents and the teacher to all interact. And you can share little video snippets of what your kids are doing in class, so the parents can see that and be excited about what their kids are learning, or so they can see what you did at school, so they can kind of do some of that at home. And that tool has just, it was already in play. It was already in use, just like Remind with the coaches. And so it's real easy for those teachers just to say, hey, that Class Dojo we've been using all year, well, that's going to be our main thing now. That's our new classroom. So we may not be able to say, hey, all teachers need to use Remind, or all teachers need to use Dojo, or all teachers need to use this or that. There's still going to be some flexibility because of prior existing realities in those classrooms. We don't want to take something that has been working and say, hey, you can't use that anymore, teacher, because we're trying to make everybody do the same thing. So we have to balance, that giving our teachers flexibility to do what works for their class versus trying to make it as easy to navigate for our parents as possible. So we're trying to split the difference on that. We're working on that. Be watching for communications from your principals, your campus principals on that. I apologize that this was split into two parts. Right in the middle of it, my alarm went off and it stopped filming, and I didn't want to go back and refilm all that first part, because this is, I think, take number 4 right now. The first take was really good, but I went off on kind of a political tangent, so I decided to shut that off. I don't like that our shelter-in-place / stay-at-home order, I don't like the way that's been rolled out. Like it's like our state officials want to say, well, we want you to stay at home, but we're not going to make you. Well, they're kind of supposed to be the leaders and the grown-ups, so they're supposed to sometimes tell us what to do, whether we like to hear it or not, right? If it's for our own public health and safety. I just went off on a political tangent again, sorry. All right, I'm going to stop now so I don't have to refilm this whole deal. Have a great day, have a great weekend, and stay home. Please stay home for the good of the people around you.